Hello everybody, my name is Ruxandra and welcome to another video of R&R Partners Bucharest. Today we're going to talk about how you can close your Romanian company. There are three main types of closing the Romanian company that we will talk about. The first is bankruptcy. When you have a company that is in great debt, according to Romanian law, more than 40,000 lei in your company is debt, then you or your creditors can open the insolvency procedures. The second type of closing the Romanian company that we're going to discuss today is when you have some debt in your company, but it is not as high as the one that is required in order to open an insolvency procedure. This is deregistration of your company with liquidator. You will have to go to the trade registry, the institution that takes care of company registration and company changes, and request this kind of procedure for your Romanian company. The third type that we are going to discuss today as regards to closing a Romanian company, and the most important one in our opinion, is voluntary deregistration. This voluntary deregistration usually comes up when you have a company, maybe the company is going well or not so much, but at any rate you want to close your business because you either want to move to another country or you want to open a new line of business. This is done in two steps. The first step is registering your decision of sole shareholder or decision of all the shareholders in the company to deregister your SRL, because here we are referring to an SRL, a limited liability company in Romania. This decision has to be in writing, signed by all the shareholders if there are more than one, and then registered either online or in person at the trade registry, depending on where you have the company headquarters. For the second step, in addition to the decision of the shareholders, you also need a balance sheet from your accountant that basically says that the company is okay, they do not have debt, or the debt that already was on the company was some way recovered, and then all these documents are again registered at the trade registry. The only problem with this procedure is that it takes quite a long time. One of the most asked questions from our clients is, okay, I want to close my company, how long does it take? Strange enough, it takes about a week to open a company in Romania, but almost 2 months to close it. The idea is that between the two steps that I just mentioned, there has to be at least 1 month to pass, because when you have a company that is on the market, it might have debt, for example, to the Romanian state or to other creditors, and they should have the necessary time to oppose to the closing of the company, because if the company closes and they do not get their money back, then of course they have no chance to do that in the future. Another very important question that we sometimes get from our clients is, how expensive is this procedure? When you register a company, the taxes are quite low. Of course, if you want to pay a consultant or a lawyer to help you with that, you'll have to add the respective fees. And it's the same with closing a company. In this case, however, you have to take into consideration also the fee for your accountant, because they have to prepare that balance sheet that we talked about. As regards the trade registry fees, at the moment when you are recording this video, they are about 50 euros to maximum 100 euros. Another thing that we discuss with clients very often about closing a company is, if I want to suspend my activity for a bit, what should I do? Maybe I do not want to close it for an indefinite period of time, maybe I just want to take a break. And in this situation, what we also advise our clients is to take into consideration the procedure of suspending their company. You do not really have to close your SRL if you just want to take a little break from your business, but you can just suspend it for a maximum of 3 years. In this period of time, you can decide what you want to do with your company at the end. You can either close it or you can keep on going with your business. You cannot, of course, suspend it for an additional period of time because the law prevents it. In all cases, what we advise clients is never to leave their company. You must either close it or suspend it, because if you do not pay your accountant, you do not do anything on the company, you just let it be, then you might end up with a fiscal file. This casier fiscal, what we call it, is very important because it prevents the founders of the company for being involved in the future in other NGOs or SRLs. Basically, if you show that you were not diligent with your company, that you did not do anything possible to either suspend it, close it, or keep on going with your business, then you show that you are not a good entrepreneur and you must not be allowed to do business in the future. Of course, if you end up with this tax record, we can help you delete it, but it takes a bit of time and we also need the help of your accountant to figure these things out. Guys, that's about it for today as regards to company closing. If you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day. Bye bye.